Prosperity and abundance to everyone tuning in. I am Mrs.Melanin, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be back with you all. I'm gonna try to turn this up so you guys can hear me. I wanted to come and talk briefly about why the narcissist goes and tells everybody that you're crazy. They'll even go and tell everybody that you're the narcissist, right? And we know they turn everything back on you, but a lot of people end up falling right into the trap. I mean, maybe even I fell into the trap in certain ways before really re-educating myself and also being able to just move past the stupid games that the narcissist plays. And so, of course, in order to discredit you, they want everybody to believe that you're crazy. Because if people believe you're crazy, then anything that you say or you have found out about them, any type of evidence that you try to bring forth, any type of testimony that you try to give, it will be discredited. It will be seen as, okay, this person has lost it. They're either spiraling because they want to be with the narcissist so bad, or maybe they'll say you have underlying health issues, mental health issues. Maybe they'll point out if you've ever spoke to them about depression or anxiety, or nowadays on social media, if you talk about those things openly, if they've seen you use any substances, if you have any addictions, all of these things will come to the forefront for the narcissist to use, because you know they have no boundaries. And if you threaten their false self, they will have to, in their mind, they have to sabotage you right away, because you're threatening who they have portrayed themselves to be. And so crazy making, nowadays I look at, people calling people crazy a lot different, and I'm more discerning about the type of conversations I engage in, because this type of thing is happening all over the place. I think back to situations with even family where certain family members were portrayed as crazy, or I think back to like celebrities, even where certain celebrities were portrayed as crazy. And you may not understand it, but a lot of times this is what is happening. A smear campaign is taking place because the narcissist does not want to be exposed for who they are. They don't want to lose their supply. They don't want to have their false self be hindered. So they zone in on you, and they need everybody to think that, hey, this person is crazy, this person does drugs, this person has mental health issues, this person is this or this person is that. There's no limits to where the narcissist is willing to go when they are trying to portray you as crazy, and you need to be careful depending on your proximity to them. So if you're going through a divorce with a narcissist, if you're dealing with a custody case with a narcissist, you need to be careful, because these people will make you lose your children. And for some reason, and I'm going to say some reason, we'll talk about it in the future, but one of the things you'll notice is that when you're dealing with systems, when you're dealing with courts, when you're dealing with authorities, the narcissist is more likely to get away with what they're doing. You think you can turn to those type of places and say, hey, here's the evidence that I have. Hey, this is not adding up. Hey, this person has a past. And you think you'll get the support that you're looking for. But a lot of times it is harder than we think. It's harder than we think. And so, like I said, if you're dealing with like a divorce or a custody case or anything, even if they're not your spouse, it could be a parent. I've seen people go into custody battles with grandparents who are trying to get their child to lose their child. You have so many different ways that these people will try to target you, because they need to be able to prove that you are the unstable person. So like I said before, if you have any addictions, even if you drink, maybe you're not addicted, but you drink every now and then and you have a good time, or you smoke every now and then and you have a good time, whatever it is that they can find, they will blow those details out of proportion, because they need people to believe that you're crazy crazy, you're out of your mind. Whatever it is that you found out about them is not true. You're making it up, and ultimately, you are the person with the problem. And I'm telling you, a lot of times, narcissists already have a past of other people that they've dealt with, other people who they've abused, other people who have tried to speak out on them. They have this history. The history is there, but they don't care. They do not see anything outside of that false self. They are not going to let go of that false self. And like I said, they have no boundaries for what they are willing to do to you if they feel like you are threatening that false self. Narcissists do not play around when it comes to protecting that shell that they have made up. And they are ultimately all perfect. There's no flaw within that false self that they have made up. So even if it's something very minor that you think okay, it's not that big of a deal, we can let it go, you're going to see this narcissist fight tooth and nail until you are begging them to stop, until they can either completely destroy you, or you will beg them to stop and retract your statements. They'll get you to the point where you will force yourself to apologize to them just so they can stop. They'll call your job and try to get you fired. They'll try to interfere with your living situation. They will interfere with even any aspect of your livelihood. Like I said, your children will be a target. A lot of times people talk about narcissists abandoning their children. They don't talk about the narcissist who wants to take full custody of children they don't even love and they don't even really care for. You rarely hear that part of it. But these types of people have no limits to what they will do. Even if that means they have to unalive you, or they will get so many people to gang up on you that you will feel like unaliving yourself. A lot of people have committed suicide because they don't have the education that we have now. We have a lot of things online where you can look up and you can join a community and you can see other people resonate with you. And even when you have those people who resonate with you, it's still very hard to go through. It's still a very hard thing to deal with. Yes, they are demonic. They are very demonic. It's a very hard thing to deal with. It plays on your mind. They'll get to your family and friends. They'll work on their family and friends, anybody that you have that were mutuals between the two of you, and then they'll work on your family and friends. And here's the thing, a lot of people don't really go through the details. A lot of people don't have time. People are busy. People are unaware about this type of thing. And narcissists can be very convincing because they're going to go the extra mile that you're not going to go. A lot of times you'll just say what happened. They say there's two sides to every story, but ultimately, a lot of times, if you are not a narcissist, you don't have a problem saying, hey, I made this mistake, I made that mistake. And what narcissists strategically do is push you to a point of reacting. They'll do little things to prod at you. They'll do little things to poke you and poke the bear and poke the bear and poke the bear. And when you blow up, they will be right there with a camera in your face, ready to tell everybody, say, see, he or she is crazy. This person's crazy. You see, and they record you in a way where they'll act very calm. By the time they press record on the phone or whatever they're recording you on, they'll be very calm. It will be after they have said all these things to you, after they've done all these things to you. Maybe they've even put their hands on you. Then all of a sudden they become the innocent party. These types of people are very strategic in what they do. It didn't start with you. It started in childhood. Little bits and pieces of this person's false self was developing since childhood. They know, and they have tried this on everybody they've interacted with. Everybody. To some degree, they have tried this on everybody they've interacted with. So by the time they get to you, when they first met you, they already knew there would be an ending to your story. Right? Even if you're in a marriage with them and you guys stay in a marriage for a long time, they, throughout that entire marriage, have been collecting things on you. They've been smearing you to their family and friends in advance, before you even realize what's happening. Because what will happen is you'll just think, we're all flawed. This person's flawed just like I am. And so you try not to take things not too seriously, but you try to forgive them. Okay, this is my partner. We're going to work through this. So you're going through all of those different emotions, and in the midst of that, that person is taking your every flaw and blowing it out of proportion to other people. So when you do find out who they truly are, they can say, hey, I already told you this person was crazy. I already told you I've been thinking of divorcing this person. I've already told you that this person has a drinking problem. I already told you that this person has this problem, that problem. And what makes it even worse is that they project who they are on you. So if they're an abuser, they're going to call you an abuser. If they're doing illegal things, they're going to say you're doing those illegal things. They're going to go out of their way to prove this. And I'm telling you, the mind games that these people play, because when we say they're demonic, a lot of people will laugh and say, because people think of demons in a mystical way. A demon is an intelligent spirit, a maliciously intelligent spirit, right? So these people are working with a malicious intelligence, analyzing your reactions to them, analyzing your reactions to certain things, using information you've told them about your childhood. Even they have what we call intuition, right? You may say your intuition is connected through God, right? These people have that in a demonic sense, in a malicious sense. They pick up on things. They read people. They read people intricately. And so when you're not paying attention, when you're just operating in your authentic self, this individual is putting together every piece they need to destroy you, because they know that they are going to self-sabotage. Inevitably, there's nothing that can be done to help this individual. As much as people want to be optimistic about it and say, God can change anybody, but God even speaks about those people who have been turned over to a reprobate mind. God is not going to hear them because they don't even want to call out to God. They don't want to allow God to even come in. So these types of people, they've already been turned over to a reprobate mind. And so when you're dealing with this level of a demonic entity, you have to understand they're not going to play fair. There's nothing you can say to reason with them. There's nothing you can do to reason with them. And they come to kill, steal, and destroy. So I just wanted to come and do that briefly with you all, discuss that briefly with you all. And thank you for tuning in. For everybody that's on the live tonight who has commented, thank you so much. I will be back with another video.